Hi everyone, welcome to the Super Feeler podcast. My name is Lori and I'm super excited today to be joined by a guest named Nine, who is going to have some very, very interesting things to say, I have no doubt. Nine, it's so nice to see you. I mean, I met you once already, but you're a friend of a regular Super Feeler attendee who actually lives in the area, which is amazing. So you attended the Super Feelers Club for the first time last month. And you were sharing that you have a BPD diagnosis and you have another personality disorder diagnosis. What brought you to the Super Feelers Club? Let's start there.
I had a bad day. I was talking to my friend who is a regular on the show. And, or not. Okay.
Not on the show, I guess, but at the Super Feelers Club, yeah.
Yeah, the Super Feelers Club. And then they were like, oh, I'm going to Super Feelers. I was like, oh, what's that? And they were like, oh, it's a BPD support group. I was like, oh, does it cost money? And then that's kind of how I came on there.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, no, it was great to have you. How long have you had BPD for? Or when were you diagnosed?
Since I was born.
Yeah, I was going to say, literally, same. When did you find out you had BPD?
Like 5 years ago.
Okay,
no,
cool.
More than that, probably 6 years ago. Yeah.
And how old are you-ish?
Currently?
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s.
Okay, nice, cool. So you were diagnosed like in your early 30s? Late 30s, yeah.
Mid-30s.
I was diagnosed like super early. I was diagnosed at 18, so like right away they were like, "Yeah,
I feel like if I was born here,
right, because you weren't born here.
Yeah, I was born in Hong Kong, so I feel like if I was born here and my parents believed in mental health stuff,
yes.
then I would have gotten diagnosed sooner. But my parents both were just not good.
Yes. Which is often how BPD comes to be. Yes,
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
So when you were born in Hong Kong, when did you move here?
1994.
1994. Okay, cool.
My family moved to Vancouver, and then a lot of other stuff happened, and then I ended up being stuck in Alberta.
Stuck in Alberta is how a lot of people feel about Alberta, I feel like.
I don't think anybody actually wants to be here. Like, even the people who are really hardcore Albertans, they'll have some sort of complaint about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really just not the best place for my mental health.
I do really like Calgary. My best friend lives in Calgary, so I go there every once in a while. But I'm also only there for like a weekend. You know what I mean? I don't.
I lived in Calgary for 22 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's better now. Like when it's better. Like when I first went there, it was like 2003 or something like that, 2004 maybe. And it's the way that a lot of small towns are now. Like it's just like super backward. Mental health is non-existent. Nothing, like no one is self-aware about anything, and there's like bigots everywhere. Like it's the way that small town Alberta is like now.
Yeah, and I live in Abbotsford, so I'm in like the Bible Belt of BC. So there's similarities, I think, between.
Yeah. It just cannot compare to the Bible Belt that is Alberta.
No, well, and your government is straight fucked. Anyways, aside from a Canadian politics podcast, okay. So you were diagnosed in your 30s. So do you want to tell me about like what growing up was like? I know you said your parents weren't great, and you moved here you moved to Canada when you were how old were you? I guess 10-ish.
9 or 10, yeah.
9 or 10. So what was it like before you moved here, and then that transition to Canada?
I honestly cannot remember much about my childhood. That's a BPD thing that I think a lot of people can relate to. It's like when most of your childhood memory are wiped. For me, it sucks because it wiped my good memories too.
Right.
Like my brain, I know my brain's trying to protect me.
Yeah.
And trying to wipe all the bad stuff, but in the it doesn't pick, right? So it just in the process of that, it just wipes all the good stuff too. So you're like, oh. So yeah, honestly, I don't remember much before moving here. I remember like specific scenes almost, like specific scenarios, and they're always bad. They're all bad.
Isn't that funny? Your brain tries to protect you, but then it only leaves the bad shit.
Right? And I'm like, what the heck? Like you had one job. Yeah, so it wiped all my good shit. and then it wiped some of the bad, like the real bad shit, but it left some of the bad shit that I can
Yeah.
remember. Every time I try to remember something good, it triggers something bad also.
Mm,
And then
that's frustrating.
yeah, so I don't know. It's been a time. It's a miracle I'm still alive.
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of people like us feel that way.
I guess for your question, the parts that I can remember, when I was born, like Hong Kong was still under the British government.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So yeah, so the Western world is a lot more liberal as far as mental health care and or just like in ideologies and media and such. And so when Hong Kong was a part of Britain, a lot more open-mindedness came from
Mm,
that. Even though, like, I'm not British, but it's like Europe also does not have a good track record for just being like a lot of them are very far right as well,
yeah.
country-wise, like government-wise. Yeah, so it's not like it's any better, but still better than how it was like Hong Kong back in the 80s is very nationalist and
Mm,
also very like everyone's super close-minded and like of course, this is a generalization, but it just feels like it's a completely different world. And the parts that I can remember, I don't know. It's like it's confusing because it's like I feel like a lot of times I don't know if I made up those memories or if
right.
they are like something that actually happened.
I feel that way about my childhood too, and I think a lot of that I'm like is is that because people have told me that I'm crazy my whole life and so I start to
Or,
question my own reality?
yeah, yeah. Or that something happened and it's like an outcome that other people didn't want, so they will
Hmm.
gaslight you.
Yeah.
And then after a lifetime of being gaslit, now you're not sure. Now I can't trust my own memory.
Exactly. Literally. That's totally how it feels. Are you an only child?
No, I have a sister.
Okay. And is she's in Canada too?
Yeah, she went to, man, how controversial can we get on the podcast?
Relatively. What kind of controversy are we getting into?
Uh, Pet death?
Mm, sure. Let's do it. And I can always edit it out.
Sure. I have a sister. She's younger than me. When we were growing up, things were fairly normal until the my parents divorced.
Hmm.
And then my mom just straight up yeeted.
Oh, okay.
And then
Like never saw her again?
ne- I saw her once again as an adult later on, 13 years later.
Wow.
Yeah, but she straight up yeeted. Me and my sister were really close to my mom,
Hmm.
and so we both took it in a different way. My dad is super abusive. He is physically abusive and emotionally abusive. But when he wasn't abusive, he was just neglectful because he was just never home. His excuse was that he has three jobs, but also now he has a different family.
Hmm.
But
You can see where the abandonment problems kick in
yeah, so
in a big way.
that's the first one. There's more,
Hmm.
as there always are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my sister took it. I don't even really know. Like we were super close before the parents' divorce. After the parents' divorce, she just stopped talking to me altogether. She started blaming me for everything in her life problems. She started like just being in her room and like not coming out, not saying hi or anything. If you question her about it, she'll be like, "Oh well, you ruined my childhood." So there's lore for that.
We have a lot in common, Nine.
Yeah, well, BPD. I think maybe it's just a BPD thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
But
so the
there's
lore,
definitely something I get blamed for a lot of my family members' problems to this day. I ruined everybody's life, basically.
well, okay, so the lore, I think this is important context.
Hmm.
So my parents moved to Canada. My dad like was never really like a good guy per
Hmm.
se. Like even as a husband, he's kind of terrible. And then, but I didn't know how terrible because I was a kid, so I
Yeah, of
didn't know
course.
like how things work. But like I knew that like if you're in a monogamous relationship, you should stay monogamous. Like as a kid, I understood this. So one day when I was in Canada, my dad's mistress from Hong Kong mailed him a snail mail like raunchy letter, and I was the one that found it in the mailbox. So you can kind of
Great.
tell how this went. And
Yeah.
then, yeah,
And you're
so because
under
like,
10 at this point.
yeah, and my sense of justice was like so strong, for that specific thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, because you said you were super close to your mom, right?
yeah, exactly. So I wanted to protect her, right? So, yeah, that led to that. And then my sister was like, "Why did you do that? Like, you could have just kept your mouth shut. Like, we would have had a happy childhood." And I was like,
Mm.
my sense of justice is stronger than my need for a complete family, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that sense of justice thing is huge, actually.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
just telling my husband
autism.
about that. Well, that too, but even in BPD, it's huge.
Yeah, yeah. Well, BPD, because like everyone's been hurt, right? So it's like
Yeah.
you don't want to, but then like BPD is such a contradiction in itself because it's like
Mm.
almost like a protector for your inner child or like whatever, like a system to protect you. But then at the same time, the ways that it uses to protect you are all toxic and it's
Yeah.
bad.
You're
It's
like,
like,
how about we have a different way of doing this, guys? Like, this
yeah,
is
how about
ridiculous.
we use a different trauma? We cause a different trauma so
Yeah.
that you could avoid the first trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Anyway, so that happened. And then the other part to this is
So is that why
we
your
start
mom left your dad?
yeah, the cheating. I
Because of
told her about
this letter.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yes, yeah. So that's why. And then when he found out, he like hit her and stuff. So and then she filed a restraining order. There's a lot. Anyways,
Yeah, that sounds like
um
a dramatic childhood.
it was just chaos. It was chaos
Yeah.
every day. Like every day I didn't know that if I have parents still.
Mm,
Like every day I didn't know if my mom's gonna die. Like what is happening? Is she gonna
yeah.
leave? Is she gonna die? Is my dad gonna kill her? Like what is happening? Right, sister stuff. Years later, uh, I I felt like so the divorce process was very long because like they couldn't decide whether they want to sell the house
Right. It
because
wasn't amicable,
they
obviously.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So like they both want money, and then I think to this day it's still not been resolved. But
Not your
yeah,
problem anymore.
yeah, not my monkeys and not my
Yeah,
siblings
exactly.
certainly. Yeah, so I when I was at home, I felt like nobody was on my side. My dad
Mm.
obviously hates me now. My sister also hates me now. So it's like there was nobody on my side. So I was like, maybe I should get a cat. And so I got a cat. And I was that was my first cat. He was a kitten. His name is Blarb.
Blarb?
Uh yeah, Blarb.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an interesting name.
Yes. He was a tuxedo cat,
Oh.
kitten, more white than black. And yeah, I was with him for like maybe a year or so. Like I got him when I was a kitten, and then one day, Halloween party at in college. I've never been invited to a party before because I was always like not cool.
Hmm.
But this is around the time where my other cluster B personality disorder like start to manifest.
Okay.
So I
Which we'll
suddenly
get into
became,
for sure, because I have
which
so
we'll
many
get into.
questions.
Yeah, which like in the process of that, I feel like I developed a different persona
Mm.
and different way of masking,
Yeah.
and that has made me cool. And so
Right.
the cool kids invited me to a party. I got blackout drunk. I went home and my cat was missing.
Oh. This is Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween, 2002. Yeah. And then yeah, cat was missing. I asked everybody. My dad, my sister said they haven't seen my cat, and I was like, "Well, how did the cat disappear?" Like,
Hmm.
yeah, and he was a kitten. It was like storming outside, and I was like, "Oh, what the heck?" So I looked for him in the neighborhood for like 3 weeks. SPC called me and said he found his body. He was outside, got ran over by a car right outside our door. Um, I said, like brought back the ashes to my house, and I was like, so you guys what happened?
Yeah.
And my sister's like, oh, well, like when you were gone, I figured that I need to exact revenge on you for ruining my childhood.
Jesus.
So we don't talk anymore.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So that was that. So
Jesus.
that's another BPD thing. Good times.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the whole exact revenge for ruining my childhood thing is, well, first of all, like that's fucked up. Don't let
It's
people's
fucked.
cats outside, especially on Halloween, actually, because a lot of cats get killed on Halloween.
Yeah, and so was the storming outside. Like it was in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like
So it's
it's
always
storming.
storming outside.
It's
But
always storming outside. Yeah, exactly. Like
yeah,
and
no, that's
so
absolutely fucked. But the thing is like you were a child who had mental illness. This is what I tell myself
I
every
think
day.
I think she did too, and obviously we
Yeah.
both like came out of it different, but like that's a whole thing. Like that's her actions. That's another thing I wanted to bring up is that people's actions cannot be. You can't take accountability just by excusing it with your mental illness. Like,
No, for sure.
yeah,
100%.
your
Yes.
intentions and your agency are separate from your disorders.
Yeah. I mean, and like it's about how we do life following this understanding, right? Like I was a very abusive person when I was a kid and a teenager. And that was fucked. And I feel horrible for it. And I will never get over the fact that that was like who I was and I hurt a lot of people. And I know that I was a child who was severely mentally ill without the treatment that I needed. And once I got the treatment that I needed, I moved to a completely different side of the spectrum where all I try and do is be the exact opposite of the person that I was back then, right?
Like you're trying to undo the damage
Yeah,
now.
but you can't turn back time, right? So it's like
No.
I can't beat myself up over.
But it's not about I think maybe it's not about undoing the past and it's more about building a better future for
Exactly.
your community
Everybody.
and
Yeah,
everyone, yourself.
totally.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, so you talked to like briefly mentioned that you'd been diagnosed with another cluster B personality disorder. So,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about that? Because I think it's
Okay.
fascinating.
So about March last year, I had a really bad breakup.
That's always
Uh,
how it starts.
it's always how it starts. And it doesn't even have to be like a romantic breakup. It could be a friend breakup.
Yeah,
It could any kind of interpersonal breakup, or even sometimes like your pet.
for sure.
Just yeah. Anyways, that's the catalyst. So yeah, the catalyst that happened. SH happened. My ex, she said that I was doing the SH stuff to spite her. I was like, this is outside of my control.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to do this. If I could stop it, I would.
Yeah, totally. And is that
Yeah.
something that you've done for a long time?
Not to that level.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like some attempts were had, like
Mm-hmm.
eight back to back during like
Wow.
in the course of maybe 2 weeks.
Holy shit. And
Um,
you had already had a BPD diagnosis. So
yes,
this
nothing
was,
new.
yeah, nothing new from
Yeah,
that
I
sense.
knew I was going through it, but I didn't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but a lot more concerning like thoughts, and nothing was put into action. Let's say.
Okay.
Like I don't know how much information I want to divulge on the circumstance of this.
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah.
on like just for the sake of like this conversation, I mean, on the podcast I'm never trying to hide self-harm. Like obviously that's a part of so many of our lives, but we also don't need to get into the details of it, right? Like I don't want to
Yeah.
know methods. I don't want to.
Well, yeah, not just self-harm, but like the other cluster B stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just say like a lot of questionable thoughts were like
Oh, I
piling
see
up
what you're saying.
inside my
Okay.
head,
Yeah.
and then
And was that new for you, or was that something that you'd experienced forever and it was just kind of getting worse?
yeah. So like okay, so how it is for me, I don't know about anybody else, but how it is for me is that all of these things are always on passive. Like
Okay.
even for BPD as well. Like um suicide ideation is passive. It's always on.
Right,
It's
yeah.
always at the back of my head. Every time I walk into a room, I just automatically look for ways to kill myself.
Yeah,
Like,
totally. I
yeah,
know
and
it's
that's just
always going to be my
it's
first
always
thought.
on. Yeah, and it's like anytime there's any kind of minor inconvenience or even like just tiny shits that happen, your brain is automatically like, well, time to off yourself. Like, here we
Yeah,
go
literally.
again. Like, and
We
it's
are so
every day.
similar. So similar.
It's like every day, all the time. It never turns off.
Yeah.
Like, since we're in Canada, we can talk about weed.
Yeah.
So weed is the only way I can turn it down a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Same
funny
with
because for me it would do the exact opposite.
yeah, it's different for everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But yeah, so anyway, the end of that story, well, the beginning of the next part, I guess, is that I ended up in the hospital, uh, and I like started writing a manifesto for my cult.
Okay. Do you
Yeah,
have a cult? Or you were creating a
not
cult?
anymore? Question mark. I
Okay,
don't
well
know. I
I
always
love cult talk, so we could talk
yeah,
about
but
cults.
it's not a cult. It's just my friend group.
Okay.
But not even that. But I was writing a manifesto for just some really questionable stuff. Throughout my life, I've noticed this, like that my friend groups always kind of turn into cults. Like, but
Okay.
but I stopped doing that. Like when you have connections that are just solely for the purpose of them being resources for you,
Okay.
they aren't your friend. They are
Right.
minions, and so you don't make any real connections with anybody because
Mm,
you're just using them
right.
for something. And yeah, so that's one of the crossovers.
So you
Not
kind of started realizing when you were in the hospital that that was the case for your
um
friendships?
well no. I started realizing that like a long time ago, but
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
but it's just during the hospital visit it was like brought to my attention because the
Mm,
doctor like the psychologist, yeah, the psychologist had mentioned that this is like a thing even just with talking to me, like first conversation ever.
mm.
um but the doctor that I got for that visit was the same doctor that diagnosed me with BPD in the first place.
Wow. Okay.
So he was like, yeah, so actually the reason why I didn't give you the second diagnosis last time was because you voluntarily discharged yourself because it was a
Mm,
voluntary admission
right.
last
And
time.
was this an involuntary admission this time?
Somewhat. My
Okay.
boss found me like during SH time and like
Mm,
took me to the hospital, and then I was like, and then but that was the second time that she found me already.
yeah.
So like the second time I was like, okay, I'll get some help, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so the first one was voluntary, and so you can sign a piece of paper saying that,
Yeah,
oh,
just
I'm
go.
leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like, yeah, if you stayed the entire term, I would have diagnosed you with the second thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, I have antisocial personality disorder. It's another cluster B personality disorder.
Hmm.
Previously, before it became this as a part of the DSM, it was just called sociopathy, which we don't use anymore, and
Yeah.
psychopathy, which we use, but not like the way that Hollywood thinks.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this is just from having a psych degree, and I was very interested in forensic psych, so it came up a lot, is like when you're a kid, you might have oppositional defiant disorder, right? And then like a percentage of those people, for those of you who are just listening,
it's
this is a triangle. Then some people have antisocial personality disorder, and some of those people will have or will qualify as psychopathy
yeah,
based on like the hair checklist, which is
yes.
from UBC. I don't know if you knew that. Dr. Hair
Well,
is
I
from
didn't, I
UBC.
didn't. I
Yeah.
thought he was American. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's from UBC,
Oh my God,
University of
that's
British
crazy.
Columbia. Isn't
That's
that wild?
neat.
So
Yeah.
is that accurate that some people who have antisocial personality disorder are have psychopathy or are I don't like using the word are psychopaths, but
Yeah, I don't,
have I'm gonna
because
say
the
have
stigma, right?
psychopathy. It
Yeah,
is
or
totally, yeah.
yeah.
Meet the
Well, it's like a
criteria for
trait.
psychopathy.
Yeah, meet the
Let's say that.
criteria. Let's say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the PCLR, like the hair
Yeah.
traits
Test.
chart, is for psychopathy specifically. The interesting thing is that like not all people who are qualified for psychopathy are have ASPD. Um,
Oh, okay, that I didn't know.
yeah.
Interesting.
Sometimes I feel like people can have BPD and then have traits for psychopathy.
Mm.
Yeah,
Do you know the traits off the top of your head? It's been a long time since I've
it's
looked
been a
into
long
this.
time for me.
Okay, I'm gonna look
I
at them because I feel like this is
okay.
something people will want to know.
Yeah, I actually like my doctor wouldn't let me look at my own chart.
Okay.
Yeah, because and I asked why, and he was like, "Oh, because sometimes when people with certain disorders find out more stuff about their disorder, they get worse." And I'm like, "Interesting."
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so this is the revised checklist. So I'll just read them because I think this is interesting. So uh glibness, which is a weird word, but superficial charm. I feel like that's definitely something that happens with BPD sometimes. Grandiose
Yeah,
sense of self-worth, also something that could happen with BPD.
those are goes hand in hand.
Yeah, need for stimulation and proneness to boredom. I mean, that's
Yeah,
ADHD, BPD, whatever.
can be.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, pathological lying. I feel like that is not so much. Yeah, conning and manipulative. That's BPD stigma. I don't know if
yeah.
that's.
It's true for ASPD though.
Yeah, totally true with ASPD. I don't think it would be true with BPD if you actually looked at it. Lack of remorse or guilt. I don't think that's the case for BPD generally because
I've never
I think
met.
we have so much guilt.
Yeah, no, no, no. Exactly. And the it's like you become hyper empathetic because of
Yeah.
BPD. Yeah.
Well, and we've been blamed for shit our whole life that you're taught to be guilty because you're the problem for so many of us.
Yeah, and so like exactly. And so sometimes when people tell you this stuff, like it's not like you're telling them like, "Oh, this is what I am." It's people telling you, "This is what you are. This is what you are." Like they tell you this
Right.
over and over and over. You start to believe it, or you start to
Mm-hmm.
manifest those traits because they people tell you that you are those things, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I am."
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Okay, so parasitic lifestyle. I feel like that's the kind of thing that you were talking about
Mm,
earlier, right? With the
yes. Yeah.
friends where you're kind of
Cults.
like using people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Promiscuous sexual behavior. I mean, obviously, that's a lot of
Yeah.
us have that problem.
It doesn't apply to me.
Okay, it
I'm fairly
applies
ace. Yeah.
to a lot of us.
Yeah.
Not everyone, obviously. Early behavior problems. Duh. I mean, I
Conduct
had that.
disorder. Yeah.
Yeah, and conduct disorder. Lack of realistic long-term goals. That's an interesting one. Is that something that you struggle with?
I feel like that's a weird way of wording it because that that it's not realistic. It's more that the same feeling. I don't know if this is ASPD or BPD though, because like it's I don't
I don't know if you could even
sometimes
take
I
them
can't
apart.
tell. Yeah, sometimes I can't tell. It's just like my brain. It's not that I can't form realistic long-term goals. It's more that I don't believe that like the future exists, or like I don't believe that I
Right.
have a future. I don't believe that I'll live past tomorrow. So it's
Yeah.
like when you don't have that kind of anchor to the future, you therefore it's hard for you to make plans because you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be alive by then.
And is that because of suicidality?
I think so, or I
Yeah,
don't know. I just can't wrap my brain around like when people are like, "Oh, well, how do you see yourself in 10 years?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, but like
totally.
now it's a little bit better. Like in my lifetime, I've struggle with this stuff, but like my parents, because they don't believe in like any like even my mom, like it's just not their generation doesn't have that kind of access and education to like mental
Well, and
health care.
there's cultural things too. I mean, like there's
Yeah.
definitely generational, and then like there's definitely a cultural component that doesn't
Yes.
help for
Yeah.
sure.
And then also political. So
Yeah,
yeah.
truly,
So like
truly.
all the triad of humans, but
Yeah,
like so the it's hard to separate them sometimes, and
yeah.
so uh it's like, is it BPD suicidality, or is it like I just don't have the like capacity to think that far ahead, or is it just that I don't have the capacity to form plans? Like, like what is like the thing? Like I don't know. And so it's interesting because I also well actually this ties back to like ASPD as well. So did you finish the list?
I haven't finished the list yet. No,
Oh, okay.
but I'm keep going because I'm curious. This is fascinating to talk
Well,
about.
finish the list first.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say one more thing on the unrealistic long term goals because I feel like that could also be, first of all, I've totally experienced that. I used to experience that all the time of like, I'm going to be dead in by the time that happens.
Yeah,
What's the point? That
yeah.
for me, that has changed, which is, I remember the first time that it changed and I signed a mortgage and I went, oh my God, normally when I've signed, like when I buy something and I have to like do payments on it or whatever, normally I'm like, oh, who fucking cares? Because I'm not going to be here anyways.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's so real.
And
Like,
yeah, but then the first time, like, I signed a mortgage and I went, oh my God, I'm on the hook for this for the rest of my life.
yeah.
And I was
Well,
like, wow, things can change. It's wild.
yeah. It's like this is what like right now I'm still dealing with this. It's like I have so much debt, not just from being a millennial, but also I when I was getting those loans and stuff, I just didn't think that
Who
I'd still be
cares?
alive to pay them. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I'm like,
100%. For sure.
like if I'm late on my bill for like
What's going to happen?
5 years, whatever.
Yeah. 100%. And it's like that has been my like quote unquote like solution forever. And so it's like it's so weird when that option not goes away, but like when your brain doesn't automatically think of that, it's actually really disorienting.
It is because now all of a sudden you're responsible for your own future.
Yeah, which is like kind of wild. But I guess like normal people live like that. Okay, back to this list. So
Master digressors.
Yes, that's okay. This is good. Impulsivity, obviously, that's connected to both, like just diagnostically. Irresponsibility, that's interesting.
That's not that's why I don't like the hair list because it's like so much of it
is like negative.
Well, not just that, but so much of it are not traits, they are actions. Like they are moral actions. And so you can't say somebody's action is a disorder or is a trait for a disorder or is a trait for like a not psychological, like a not just psychopathy, but just like any kind of like personality disorder or any kind of, you shouldn't put a thing like the color blue. Like you shouldn't put that on a thing.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, all people that loves tuna are psychopaths. Like you can't say it like that. Like that's a result of something. It's not or it's like a preference or it's a result of something. It's not you can't put actions as traits for something else. The root cause of irresponsibility isn't like, oh, because you have this thing. It's the impulsivity and the conduct disorder, like the disregard of authoritarian control because you have the ultimate control. So yeah.
Well, and that, it's funny. I'm going to skip down to the bottom of the list and then work my way up because I feel like that point is so true for things. It says revocation of conditional release. So like if you were released on bail or whatever, or probation, then you would mess up something that you couldn't do and then you would get sent back to jail. But like that requires you being in jail or involved in the criminal justice system, the criminal justice system following up with you. Like there's so many factors outside of your control that seems like a very weird one. Criminal versatility, that's an interesting one. So like doing various different types of crime.
Yeah.
But that's also not, and I want to say for like 100%, like the psychopathy checklist that we're reading through here is not everybody with psychopathy has all of these
They're
things,
just checking you on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like these
if
are
you
some
check
of the
a certain
factors.
amount.
It's like any diagnostic criteria, really, right? Except this isn't in the DSM.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many short-term marital relationships, failure to accept responsibility for own actions, juvenile delinquency, and then that's all of them. But again, like how much of these are trauma-based?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like a lot of them are negative, and then it's like blaming the person who has the disorder for it. Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't choose this. What the heck? No. Why are you making it bad? Like, it's just doesn't...
So when you got this diagnosis, when you got the antisocial personality disorder diagnosis, because that usually comes first, right? What was that like? Like, did they say that to you and you were like, oh, what the fuck? Or did it make sense?
Yeah.
You already knew beforehand, like before they said
I didn't know there was a name for it, but I know.
Okay. And so do you know what the like factor was that made them diagnose you? Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like with BPD, it's often like self-harm, suicide, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to go into it if you don't want to, but
yeah. It's like a cult thing.
Can you explain? You keep saying a cult thing. Can you explain what that means?
Okay, so like when I was younger, I used to form friend groups where, because I'm not good in a fight, so like I'm very weak physically, and I get bullied all the time because I was like a nerdy kid.
Yeah.
But I discovered that I have the ability to like sweet talk people into being my friend, or like not
Okay.
being my friend, but like just like get the standard way that I talk to people is like the manipulative way where you can almost read people's body language and the way that they say things and the way that their tone is and the words that they choose to say them with.
Hmm.
Um, and that gives me an insight into how to control this person.
Okay. Interesting. And so in when you're having that, is it a conscious thought of now I know how to control this person?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Um,
Because I
it
feel
gives
like I
me,
can read people really well,
yeah.
but I don't feel like I'm doing any of that like to control someone. It's more to like understand them. So it
Mm,
sounds like that's kind of a distinction.
yes, I think so.
Hmm.
So I also have the like reading people really well thing from the
Yeah.
PPD side. But see, the difference is so on the ASPD list of traits, one of them is
Yeah.
that we have a low access to affective empathy, which
Right.
is like the kind that you feel the emotion that other people are feeling.
Right. Which
I
is
don't,
wild that you can have both because that seems completely
yeah,
the opposite of BPD.
I don't do that. I don't have that at all. I don't have access to it at all.
So you when you say you don't have access to it, like you don't feel other people's emotional
I
reactions?
don't. No.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I didn't know that this wasn't a normal thing. Like I didn't know that
Of
other
course
people have
not.
so like when I talk to other people who are hyper empathetic and they're like, "Yeah, no, it's like I feel really bad because like this person there." I'm like, "Why do you feel bad? You're having a normal
Hmm.
day." What do you mean
That's so interesting.
like what do you mean like this person telling you their story suddenly like you feel like hurt or you feel betrayal or whatever? Like that doesn't affect
Hmm.
you at all. What do you mean? And so later on, as I read more into ASPD stuff, I was like, oh, I'm the weird one.
But that's the thing with mental illness is like you only know what's in your own head. So how do you know what's normal and what's not normal?
Yeah, and
like,
even with other people, like I've you know, I've met tons of people in my life. Like
mhm.
I don't think I'm an extrovert. I think I'm an introvert with a personality disorder and
That's a
anxious
super
attachment.
that is a fascinating way to describe that. I have never thought of that in my entire life. I'm an introvert with a personality disorder, which
Yeah.
makes you seem extroverted, right?
Yeah.
Fascinating. I might feel the same way, to be honest.
Like even like right now when you and I are talking, this is a persona. Like I don't
Yeah.
this isn't how I am normally. Well, not
But are you
normally.
doing that on purpose or
I
is
can't
that
control it.
exactly?
Yeah.
So is it who you are normally? It's just part of who you are? Like you have kind of
I have
distinct
I have
ways?
people that I can unmask with,
Right.
and I notice that I'm unmasking because it feels different. I don't know. It's like it
Mm,
feels more authentic to me. Like I don't have to like not put on, but like I don't have to perform for them. Yeah. Whereas I'm performing right now for the podcast.
right. Which
Yeah,
is normal. I mean,
which is normal. But
like,
also the performance is a part of the ASPD like the traits.
yeah. And I also
Psychopathy as
like,
well.
I feel like we're having a genuine conversation.
Exactly. See, this is what I mean. You feel like we're having a genuine conversation, but it's like I am always in control of it. Yeah, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't feel like you're in control of it, but maybe you
I
are. Who knows?
I always am. But like there have been people that I've been able to not do that with.
right, right. You release the control
I
because
release the
that's your
control.
unmasking.
Yes. And it's like they are safe people who are safe enough for me to not have to put that persona on.
Hmm.
But it's like I don't control it. Like it's interesting because like the thing itself is about control. It's controlling other people. But it's like
Yeah.
the one thing that I can't control is me. So
Right.
it's like the sense of control is like it becomes external because you can't the chaos in your life earlier is outside your control. So now you're just like, oh, I need to everything has to
Hy-
be a certain way.
like hyper controlled,
Hyper
essentially,
control, yeah. And so
which makes sense.
everything yeah, and so you're always like 10 steps ahead of everybody
Hmm.
else. So yeah, the low affective empathy, but extremely high cognitive empathy is a trait of ASPD.
So, okay, so we talked about the affective empathy is the like feeling other people's feelings and
Yeah.
like quote like feeling bad for them, for example.
Yeah.
So the cognitive empathy is that you correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it's that you understand how people are feeling, but you don't
Yeah.
feel it.
Yes. That is
Interesting.
exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's like I can read their minds just by
Hmm.
seeing their face, seeing how they talk, and then the way that I make conversations with people, I've noticed, I don't know, it's just natural for me. So when I have to stop doing it, I have to actively stop it.
Hmm.
So like it's like the default. So the default way is that I always try to get people's weaknesses and I always try to get people's insecurities and I'm very good at it. And so uh in even the course of a regular conversation, even in the first half an hour, I present a persona that is welcoming and vulnerable, but the vulnerability is fake, so that the other person will mirror my behavior and become and like vulnerable as well. So
So we've been talking for 45 minutes, 50
yeah,
minutes.
and
What's my
that's
vulnerability?
you basically have the same stuff as me.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
I'm like literally I'm sitting here going like, "Oh my god, wait, do I have
So
ASPD?"
you're probably like your parents, one of them is neglectful, the other one is abusive, or maybe the one that is abusive is also neglectful. Are you an only child?
No, I have a sister, but we don't talk for exactly
Okay.
the same reason.
Hey, there you go.
Exactly the same reason.
But yeah, so then I don't think you have ASPD though. It's weird when I meet another person with it.
I bet
Um,
because you're both trying to vie for that control.
yeah, you're trying to one up each other. Both of my exes have BPD.
Okay.
Yeah. But the
Okay.
thing is like, see, there are different kinds of BPD, and
Oh,
I know that
100%.
yeah, I know that people to like types and stuff, but I don't think we use those types.
Everybody is a unique individual, right? It doesn't matter what diagnosis you have. Your trauma that brought you to this place is different. Your experiences are different. Your
Mm,
symptomology is different. There's
mm,
256 different combinations of the
mhm.
symptoms to get
Yeah, yeah,
diagnosed. Like, we're all different.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, that emotional reactivity is hard in a
Mm,
relationship if you both have it.
yeah.
But I guess, do you have that emotional reactivity?
The BPD one?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're still a person, right? Like your BPD and your ASPD are still on within
Me, the
you.
human, yes.
Yeah. So, like,
Well,
are your reactions intense, extreme?
yes. But it's bad because they kind of, you know how people are like, I have an angel and a devil on my shoulder. I
Yeah.
just have BPD and ASPD on my shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair.
So there's no
Neither of which are
angel.
angels.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or they're angels in like the most like scary bad way.
Yeah. I mean, there are great things about both, but yes, I
Yeah.
mean, still,
Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, like I have
like you
like
mean
all
like
this
minions, as in like the culty stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, not like the little yellow things with
Yeah,
the
no, no, no,
glasses.
no,
Okay,
no.
just
Yeah,
just want to
no.
double
Like,
check.
yeah.
I was like
Um,
minions. Okay, yes. Okay, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes. You said
not those
minions earlier.
guys.
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
Um, yeah, so like the whole making connections with people because they're useful to you in some way and keeping them around in your circle and feeding them just enough like interaction or just enough like social bonus or whatever
Hmm.
whatever you call it, like the carrot on a stick. Just keep them there, but you don't have to give them too much. But you know what they need, like because
Hmm.
you figure it out already. Like upon meeting them, you already figure out what they need, and so you feed them that. Like if they need like a mentor figure, then you become that for them. If they need a friend to go shopping with, you become that for them. If they need somebody to vent about their parents, you become that for them, and you become each person's ideal, but you're always it's not actually you. So it's like you're always forming these new personas to give to these people so you can keep them on a leash, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so, but as I get older, I was like, wow, this is an incredibly lonely existence because it's like nobody actually gets me.
Right, you're kind of always masked.
I'm always masked and I'm always just using people. Like none of these people are real. Like none of them are actually here. Some of them like will like bare their entire soul and stuff because the effect of me on them is that they want to tell me everything. A lot of times it just feels like they don't get me, so we don't form a real connection because I'm
Right.
never me. Like I'm never my actual self.
Well, and I
So
think part of really genuine connections is feeling for somebody else and feeling like, you know, if my best friend is hurting, I'm hurting, but you don't have that.
I understand that they are.
Right. Yeah. But you don't
Yeah,
feel
I
it.
don't feel it. No.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I've never felt it, so I don't know how it.
Yeah. That's a foreign concept to you.
It's a foreign concept to me. Like I don't know how to activate it.
Yeah. Totally.
I don't have access to it. And it's I don't know. It's interesting because like uh, I've also been friends with and also dated like a hyper empathetic person.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been friends with a lot of hyper empathetic people, and my BPD side is trying to mirror them, but it's struggling because I don't have that like hyper empathy thing. And
It's like short
so
circuits almost.
yeah. So it's like it's weird when I meet people like that because I'm like, oh man, like I can read you, but I can't. It's like I can read you, but I can't figure out like what the how to get you or like how to
Yeah.
yeah, you know, like I don't. It's like a challenge, but it's
That's
like
fascinating.
frustrating sometimes. I don't know. It's like when I meet people that I can't read, it's frustrating.
Right. Because that's
That's the only way.
the
That's
reading
the
of
only way
people
for
is
me
how
to.
you have control.
Yes,
So when you
and then
can't read them, then you lose that control, which then makes you uncomfortable because part of that control is your trauma response to not being in control as a child.
yes,
Right?
yes, that is it. And then it feeds into your BPD. So
Mm-hmm.
they go in a loop. It's like the the trauma or the catalyst of whatever's happening will activate either ASPD or BPD. And then once something is happening with that, it goes into the other one, and then the other one adds to it. And it's always bad. Like they work together in the worst possible way.
Yeah, that would be so confusing.
And it's like it's like I'm taking the worst part of both disorders, and that's how I feel all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's not great. So what does treatment look like?
I don't know. I'm like right now, I have a therapist, but I don't have ongoing appointments with them anymore.
Okay.
Um, they're just not good for. I need a specialist for this. Like,
For sure.
yeah,
This is
uh,
a complicated situation going on in your brain.
yeah, and plus, not just the personality disorders. There's also neurodivergence. So like,
Right.
there's also queerness and like transness.
Yeah.
But like, it's a mess. But yeah, it's like the ASPD stuff nobody understands. Like no therapist I've ever met really gets it. The best therapist that I've had was an intern, and she became a PhD, so she had to quit the clinic that she was at because it was a practicum only.
Yeah.
But she really tried to understand how it works in my brain, and I thought that this person really gets it.
Yeah, that would be really hard because like BPD is highly stigmatized, obviously, you know that. There's a lot of people who won't treat it, but then you add ASPD and I feel like they would definitely not treat it. Even the ones that treat BPD would have a hard time doing both because they're so
Yeah.
distinct, but they can co-occur.
And like ever since getting the diagnosis, I've gotten into so much like every time I tell somebody about it, it's gotten me into a lot of trouble just because of the stigma.
Can you explain like some examples of that?
Well, my ex told my landlord that I am a diagnosed psychopath, and my landlord evicted me just based on personal safety reasons. And I've never done anything to her. We had a good
Jesus.
relationship before this conversation. So when somebody tells somebody else that this person is a diagnosed psychopath, in their mind they have this American
Yeah, serial
Psycho
killer.
idea, yeah, serial killer
That's
idea.
what they think immediately,
Yeah,
yeah. Which is
exactly.
actually a huge amount. I mean, I have a book called, I don't know if you've read the book Snakes in Suits. It's been a long time since I've read it, but it's actually about how psychopathy is not psychopaths for the most majority of the time. It's
Yeah.
actually like CEOs of Apple and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not calling out Steve Jobs specifically,
yeah.
but CEOs of like very, 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 very wealthy countries often meet the criteria for psychopathy.
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell. Like the
That's
people who are like high control, yeah. The people who are like very in control of like a large amount of people and larger like a huge system, those people have ASPD because that's
and they're often
the way
they are often incredibly successful because of that ability to kind of manipulate situations and read people and make people follow what they want. So it's fascinating.
Yeah, the BPD is the hurdle that's keeping my ASPD from making me successful.
Honestly, I kind of get that. Like,
the ASPD, it's really detrimental to my relationships, but it's very like it's celebrated in capitalist culture.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like if I didn't have BPD, I could do anything. I could be God. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if my BPD is what's keeping me behind, and I feel like
and the nice thing is BPD is like not easily treatable, but is very treatable. Whereas I don't know, I'm not saying that ASPD isn't, because I do not consider myself an expert in that matter at all.
There are so few.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there is treatment for sure. It's just like hard to find, and I don't know how evidence based it is.
I feel like I've reached that point in my like adult life of having these things in my brain for the last 40 something years that like I am aware of them and I'm aware what thoughts are from which end.
Yeah.
So, and then which thoughts are my own thoughts. So then I could be like, okay, this thought or this idea is from ASPD or this idea is from BPD. So I can look at it and be like, this is not my authentic thought. So I'm going to dismiss it. And the way that I do it is I actually make them, I use my ASPD need for control to control my BPD urges.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then,
so have you done like DBT or anything? Dialectical behavior therapy for BPD?
Yeah, I have it when I was in the psych ward, but I was so like anti-authoritarian that I just didn't want to participate. I didn't want to get better. I didn't want to acknowledge that treatment's possible. I didn't want to.
Sometimes when you're in that space, you're like, I can't do this. This is not gonna work.
Yeah, like, and then you're just like almost in the acceptance kind of thing. Not acceptance, but it's like, well, this is me. It's like there's no point of trying to fix it. There's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. And so
I'm gonna kill myself when I get out of here anyway, so what's the point?
Exactly. So it's like, what's the point of trying to do anything? These people are important to me because I have so few real connections. Like they were all minions and resources before, and now I'm trying to form real connections by like actively trying to stop being manipulative. And so I'm like, okay, it's okay. I can release control. If people don't like me because I didn't perform for them, then they're not for me anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that has now attracted me some really cool people who are totally okay with just how I am.
Yeah. Okay, so I want you to have you heard of the concept of wise mind in DBT?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like I have to say this. Wise mind would be freaking fascinating for you to dive into, because it's finding which I think is kind of what you're talking about. It's finding the middle ground between emotion mind and rational mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's almost the BPD and the ASPD on your shoulder.
That is exactly it.
You are trying to find the wise mind in the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, ASPD, because it's so much about control, it's like, and like trying to figure out, like, and having both of these together, it's like the ASPD person, the goblin, is trying to figure out how to control the situation while being informed by the emotional experience that the BPD gremlin is having. And so me, as a person outside of both of those, I'm like, okay, you kids, you gotta figure out how to not like just hurt everybody that you know.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's so fascinating.
And so, yeah. So actually, like, the person that got me onto this podcast and the club was the one that told me about the naming your disorders. And so
Yes,
like,
yes.
yeah, you name the goblin, you name the thoughts. So it's like, for me, my BPD thoughts are named Crouton, and
Right.
my ASPD thoughts are named Crumbs. And so there are two goblins that are just like fighting inside my head. Sometimes they work together in like a mischievous way to make the
Mm.
situation worse. Um,
Yeah, never to make it better, but
it's
only to
never to
make
make it
it worse.
better. Yeah, it's never to make it better. It's only when I'm like aware of what they're trying to make me do. Like not like I've gotten to the point where I can now say that BPD doesn't control me and ASPD doesn't control me. And so I can make decisions outside of my disorders, and I
Hmm.
can make decisions that I can be in control of what I'm doing. The actions that I'm doing, I have to take up accountability for them. So therefore, I must act in a way that counters both of these disorders and what they are trying to make me think or do.
Hmm.
And so sometimes I have to use the logic side of the
Yeah.
ASPD stuff to control the irrational emotional side of BPD. Yeah, I feel like maybe it's like something like that. Like one side of my brain is overactive for ruminations and overthinking. The other side of my brain is like trying to figure out these schemes of like being 10 steps ahead from everyone, including the
Yeah.
people that I like. Uh, and I'm like, why?
Yeah,
um,
totally.
yeah.
Huh.
So when both of those, when I can like use one to balance out the other one, that's kind of how I'm staying alive right now.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay, I unfortunately we're pretty much out of time, and I have a yoga class to get to, or else I would stay on. But I have two questions for you. And one of them is weird, and I don't even know what the question is.
Okay.
Because my husband has never, I have been podcasting for 5 years, and my husband has not yet listened to a single episode of this podcast. And when we decided that we were going to record together, you and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be such an interesting conversation. He's like, I think I'm going to listen to that episode. I was like, fuck off. I've done 5 episodes of this. So, but his question, he had a question he wanted me to ask you, and I am not as online as he is. So have you heard of people talking about like psychopath behavior
What do you,
online?
what do you mean? Like
They'll be
just
like, oh, that's psychopath behavior. Okay, perfect. Well, then that solves that problem. I'm going to see if he can come up here and tell me what this question means. But if you haven't heard of this, then it doesn't really make sense. What do you think your favorite parts of having borderline personality disorder are?
I don't experience it anymore, but I used to love really hard, like
Mm,
limerence level.
yeah.
I am now on antipsychotic to stop that from happening.
Because you were loving too hard.
Yeah, and but the problem wasn't loving too hard. The problem is trying to control.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
fair.
And then same with like, and then all of these factors, like three factors, plays into how I ruined all my relationships before, was ASPD trying to control situations by manipulating people, and then BPD having made up scenarios, or like,
Hmm.
people's tones change or people didn't
Yeah.
reply or whatever, and then so that activates you, and then anxious attachment style to make it super bad, because now you're
Yes.
trying to figure out how to use control to get the person to stay. So all of these combined together is what ruined all of my previous relationships.
Yeah. So it's like it could be good, but then it ends up bad, right?
Yeah, so that's why limerence, or like uh I this is controversial, hot take. Monogamous romantic relationships portrayal in media is just glorified codependency.
Yeah, a lot of it is, especially in like chick flicks and stuff.
Yep,
It's not good.
it's not good. And growing up with that as my only like compass of,
Yeah, how a relationship works.
yep,
Okay, well, I hopefully we're not a he's going to come here in a second. Hopefully we're not a codependent romantic relationship. But I'm going to get this is Aaron. This is
hello,
9,
hello,
and he this has never happened before. But Aaron, you had a question. This is the episode we're talking about ASPD, antisocial personality disorder, and psychopathy. And you had a question about, what did you call it? Like people online saying like psychopath behavior.
Yeah, because I guess I was thinking that psychopathy is one of the, I guess, mental health disorders that is most socially acceptable to clown on and use like in a way that you wouldn't use certain others. So like someone getting a video of themselves eating a Kit Kat where they're biting it out of the side, and people are like, "Oh, that's psycho behavior," or "That dude is such a psycho." Things like that.
Okay, I get it. It's just people doing out of pocket stuff.
Yeah, and like it being called.
I just don't like any time when people use the word psychopath to mean like a serial killer. Like,
right, that's more of
stigma.
the issue as opposed to like the Kit Kat example.
Yeah, but even then, that's like trivializing like my disorder, right? Like
totally.
like BPD gets less of this, but like psychopathy definitely more so, or like people using the word sociopath. Like I just don't condone any of that. Like
Totally.
and I think that people who make it like this kind of funny thing, it's like, don't use that word. Like, use another word. There's tons of other words out there that
it's kind of like OCD, where people are like, you're like, oh, that's so OCD. It's like, just because you wash your hands doesn't mean you have OCD.
Exactly. Like, don't trivialize. Don't use these words to describe just like, oh, he quirky or whatever. You know, it's not that. None of it is that. We like this kind of stuff ruins lives.
100%. Yeah.
So it's like,
and the irony is, it ruins, like, it probably ruins your life more than it ruins other people's lives. Same with BPD, right? People think like, oh, BPD people are going to ruin everybody's lives around them. It's like, no, our lives are ruined first.
Yeah, and it's like because they only feel like they only see the reactions that we have to things, right? Like, so it's like they only see the outcome of
not
our
the
relationship.
internal dialogue.
Exactly. It's like you think it's bad being like the receiving end on like from BPD people. Imagine how I feel.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Truly. Okay, well, thank you for that answer, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks for asking the question.
I hope that
did I answer it, or
I guess it was kind of like does that faze you or other people that you might know of?
It doesn't faze me per se. I just don't think that it's fair.
Yeah. It's just like not helpful. Like, it doesn't add.
I'm not going to hunt those people down or anything, but
yeah, truly.
Yeah.
They might think you will, but you won't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's part of the stigma.
That's the part of the stigma.
Yeah.
Not a part of, not a part of the stigma, but what's real is that I just won't.
Yes, well, there you go. That's
okay, cool.
Well, amazing. Well, thanks so much, Nine. Thank you so much for listening to the Superfeeler podcast. This episode was recorded on the traditional and unceded territory of the Matsqui and Sumas First Nations. If you'd like to learn more about the Superfeeler podcast, share your story, or participate in the Superfeelers Club, which is our peer support group, it's totally free, virtual, and open to anyone who experiences intense emotions or has borderline personality disorder, please check out the link in our show notes or go to laurieedmondson.com. If you would like to support the show, we would very much appreciate it. There's an option to do monthly small donations at whatever denomination you'd like, and you get bonus content, extra resources, and extra connection to me throughout. That can be found on patreon.com/superfeeler, or again in the notes below. Thanks again, and have a great day.